Guy Fieri is among the Food Network's most beloved stars. However, the spiky-haired chef's career is riddled with wild accusations, lawsuits, and scandals about his conduct. Would you suspect he was really caught on camera getting right into a battle with his hairdresser? And that's just the start. Anyhow, how terrible have things gotten for any Ohio-born foodie? Well, in addition to continually feuding with a different celebrity chef, being accused of being a nuisance neighbor, and also getting some major problems in his restaurants, Fieri has additionally weathered accusations of racism, sexism, and homophobia. In any other words, the road to Flavortown has not exactly been an enjoyable cruise. As a result, the host of diners, dives, and drive-ins, Guy's Grocery Games, and Guy's Ranch Kitchen has found his status on the chopping block. Right now there might not be something shady about getting in a fraternity or even wearing a sick mullet, but when the individual that previously did both of the things gradually becomes a celebrity chef, it must be made public. Fortunately, the geniuses at Total Frat Move had the concept to drive up Fieri's composite photo from his days at the Faculty of Nevada, Las Vegas as an Alpha Tau Omega brother. We must reiterate here that perhaps there is truly nothing especially shady about this specific, but think about this question: would you want that person dealing with your food? In late 2013, Fieri reportedly got into an expletive-filled and violent battle with the hairdresser of his, Ariel Ramirez, that had been found on tape by TMZ. The unconventional video allegedly shows Fieri fending off Ramirez with the legs of his as Ramirez fires off one F-bomb after an additional at Fieri. The nuclear brawl escalated rapidly. Fieri threw Ramirez outside of the SUV, the tab reported. Fieri's manager was then made to shoot Ramirez's family home by cab. They had only just landed at San Francisco International Airport and had all been drinking on the flight. A resource for TMZ said the brawl was comparable to an episode of Seinfeld, a show about absolutely nothing, and also was just a situation of dudes getting dudes. A rep for Fieri stated, "A lot of guys have been messing around. Things got just a little out of hand, though they are all great now." Do you recall the time when Fieri appeared in advertisements for restaurant chain T.G. 2008 and 2009? Fridays, raving about its ultimate recipe showdown-inspired menu? As it ended up, Fieri wasn't a regular of the restaurant. When cornered by all those annoying TMZ cameras, he mentioned it was just business to make all those ads. Fieri didn't exactly bash the restaurant. "It's a good gig, man," he said. We think he could have at least admitted that Friday's chicken fingers are great because they just are. Fieri commonly found himself embroiled in a legitimate dispute with longtime business partner Steve Gruber over Fieri's petition to close the restaurant chain Johnny Garlic's that he and Gruber founded in the mid-90s. Based on the Press Democrat, Fieri filed paperwork to dissolve the restaurant chain in December 2015, but Gruber had another thought. He attempted to purchase out Fieri's stake in the company. Fieri and Gruber every personal one-half of the given shares and voting performance in the company. Once the partners couldn't agree on a selling price for Fieri's stock, Gruber filed a lawsuit asking a court to help you find it out there for them. Fieri needed a thoroughly clean break out of the restaurant chain that made him a victory well before the Food Network came calling. Guy Fieri has decided to separate from the business along with its restaurants for operational and creative considerations. In April 2016, the former business associates settled over undisclosed terms. Based on the article, the city's Department of Health and Mental Hygiene discovered that Fieri's Times Square hotspot was infested with different kinds of flies that include waste or food/sewage may include fruit flies. The restaurant earlier came under fire for having fresh roaches on the floor that earned it a B rating from the inspector. The employees were also criticized for not working with proper utensils to eliminate empty-hand contact with food as well as for having inadequate individual cleanliness. Through the years, the late celebrity chef Anthony Bourdain came for Fieri. In a July 2015 interview with Atlanta magazine, Bourdain publicly wondered whether Fieri could be a better man for the benefit of the newborn child of his. In June 2016, Bourdain told Adweek that Fieri is worthy of a good and perhaps relentless mocking. Fieri has only actually mildly defended himself, like in a GQ interview where he scolded Bourdain for talking trash behind his back. I know he's certainly got problems, since the typical computer user does not behave in that way. Maybe there's a darker purpose for Bourdain's contempt of Fieri. Fieri was, after many, the person who has taken off the gloves during a roast of Bourdain in 2012, where he applied Bourdain's historical past of drug abuse as a punchline. Bourdain was open about his addiction, but possibly he did not expect to be mocked for it. Fieri discussed designs to develop a wine tasting room on his home in a 2015 GQ profile. That which was the only hitch. Over 100 neighbors came out to protest his plans in a public hearing in Sonoma County, California. Guy isn't simply wearing loud shirts, he's additionally loud, said the protesters. Page accused Fieri of becoming anti-Semitic, homophobic, and crude in an infamous interview with City Pages. You must safeguard Guy from all of his poop jokes, Page claimed. When we had been cutting the show, we'd to express to the editors to look at Guy's eye line, since it's constantly on the breasts, he said. Page even talked about an incident from the beginning of diners, dives and drive-ins where Fieri expressed discomfort more than 2 restaurant owners being likely gay. Page stated Fieri complained, "You cannot send me to speak to gay individuals with no warning. Those individuals freak me out." Page claims that Fieri dissed several of the people with anti-Semitic remarks in discussions about compensation and costs for the best-selling diners, drive-ins and dives books. Fieri spokesman denied Page's statements, saying, Guy's track record speaks for itself. Other sources sided with Fieri, calling the whole article an entire bunch of BS. Chowhound, in an effort to discredit several of the allegations made in the City Pages piece, allegedly got in contact with a production staffer that requested being recognized as Jane and who claimed her work on diners, drive-ins and dives was very miserable. She exited television production altogether. Even if only some of those claims check out, surely that gives Fieri a pass on his decision to still rock bleach blonde spikes and bowling shirts 15 years too late, right? We'll see.